In the name of God, the compassionate and merciful, Mr. President, at the outset, allow me to express deep appreciation to Algeria, China, Pakistan, and Russia, who have rejected the politics of coercion and upheld the principles of diplomacy, justice, and law. We also commend Guyana for its courage in resisting coercion. Their vote today showed true commitment to diplomacy. Their position today sends a clear message. Conflict must be resolved through dialogue, not through the blunt instrument of pressure and intimidation. They have chosen to stand on the right side of history. Mr. President, Iran's position is clear and consistent. Resolution 2231 must be implemented exactly as agreed. Its timelines are not suggestions, they are binding commitment. Painstakingly negotiated and unanimously endorsed by this Council, any attempt by E3 to reimpose sanctions already terminated is not only baseless, but a direct assault on international law and credibility of the Security Council itself. Resolution 2231 and the JCPOA were hard-won achievements after more than a decade of negotiations. They settled all concerns about Iran's nuclear program, confirming its exclusively peaceful character. Iran implemented the deal in full and in good faith. No other nation has ever subjected itself to such rigorous, intrusive verification by IAEA. We kept our words. The EU, E3, and US did not. It was the United States that unilaterally tore up the agreement in 2018, reimposing sanctions in open defiance of this Council. It was the E3 that failed to meet their obligation, hiding behind empty promises while quietly following Washington's lead and instructions. And now, in a striking display of hypocrisy, they claim that Iran must be punished for measures we took only after years of enduring their violations. Mr. President, we categorically reject the E3 notification of 28 August 2025. It is procedurally invalid, politically motivated, and legally void. By bypassing the JCPOA dispute resolution mechanism, the E3 have shredded the very framework they claim to defend. Worse still, parties lying in material breach cannot suddenly present themselves as guardians of compliance. This is not legal or law. It is opportunism camouflaged as legality. Iran's remedial measures were neither reckless nor unilateral. They were calibrated, transparent, and fully consistent with our right under the JCPOA. To twist these lawful actions into a pretext for a snapback is to reward violators and punish compliant. Mr. President, this traversely unfold against the backdrop of blatant aggression. Iran's safeguard nuclear facilities have been attacked, not in secret, but openly, by Israel, a rogue regime, and by the United States, a depository of NPT. Facilities under IAEA monitoring were bombed in violation of every principle of international law and the very foundation of the non-proliferation regime. And yet, instead of condemnation, we witness silence, worse, justification from the very state now lecturing Iran about obligations. What clearer evidence of double standard and hypocritical behavior could there be? Despite this, Iran did not abandon diplomacy. On 9 September in Cairo, we reached an understanding with IAEA to resume cooperation, a significant and forward-looking step. But rather than seizing this opportunity, the US and E3 dismissed it exposing the gulf between their rhetoric and their true intentions. They speak of dialogue with strangling it. They proclaim support for diplomacy while burying it under threats. This reckless step undermines dialogue, rewards aggressions, and sets a dangerous precedent. Mr. President, E3 and the US, in coordination with Israel, are spreading false claims that Iran's nuclear program threatens peace and security. This is a fabrication. Iran has not breached the JCPOA, the NPT, or its safeguard obligations. Our nuclear program remains entirely peaceful. Even the impartiality of this Council has been compromised. The Presidency, under pressure from certain permanent members, ignored the requirement to take into account the views of all participants, including Iran, Russia, and China, before presenting today's draft resolution. This requirement is explicitly stated in paragraph 11, Resolution 2231, and even in the President's draft. Yet, in practice, the President of the Council disregarded this language, violated the neutrality of the Council, and effectively endorsed the E3 notification by both introducing the draft and calling for a vote, without ensuring that the positions of China, Iran, and Russia are true participants of JCPOA were fully reflected. This is not consensus building. It was coercion. The result is decision imposed on Council, not owned by it. In conclusion, Mr. President, I wish to state Iran's firm position. 1. Today's action is hastily, unnecessary, and unlawful. Iran recognizes no obligation to implement it. 2. The responsibility for its grave consequences lies squarely with the United States and the E3, who fabricated allegations against Iran while enabling Israeli criminal attacks on safeguard facilities. 3. This act, with no consensus, weakened the Council, undermines diplomacy, and jeopardizes the non-proliferation regime. 4. Iran's nuclear program will not be destroyed by bombs, halted by sanctions, or diverted from its peaceful path. The door for diplomacy is not closed, but it will be Iran, not the adversaries, who decides with whom and on what basis to engage. Mr. President, today's Council has squandered an opportunity for dialogue and consensus. Russia and China, acting in good faith, tabled a balanced initiative to extend Resolution 2231 and preserve diplomacy. Instead of embracing this path of reason, the United States and the E3 choose an escalation, pressure, and division. This contradiction between their rhetoric and actions prove once more their real intention is not diplomacy, but escalation. They must now bear full responsibility for the crisis they have manufactured. Let there be no doubt, Iran will remain steadfast in defending its sovereignty, its rights, and the peaceful character of its nuclear program. We will not yield to coercion. We will not be intimidated by unlawful threats, and we will not allow this Council to be misused as an instrument of injustice. Thank you.